What is something you have an unpopular hatred towards? I hate when people say, you don't need to be rich to be happy. I grew up in a poor family, and my parents used to tell me this all the time, but I remember the constant stress they were under, trying to make ends meet. They worked long hours, and we barely saw them. When we did, they were usually exhausted and irritable. We lived in a small, cramped apartment, and I shared a room with my two younger siblings. We didn't have much, and I remember feeling embarrassed when my friends would come over and see how we lived. I remember one winter when our heating broke, and we couldn't afford to fix it. We had to bundle up in layers of clothing and blankets just to stay warm. My parents would tell us it was like camping, but I knew they were just trying to make the best of a bad situation. I remember the shame I felt when I had to tell my friends I couldn't go to the movies or out to eat because we couldn't afford it. I remember the humiliation of having to wear hand-me-down clothes that didn't fit properly. I remember the fear I felt when my parents would argue about money, and I would worry that we would end up homeless. I remember the sadness I felt when I saw my parents working so hard, and yet we still struggled. So when people say, you don't need to be rich to be happy, I can't help but feel angry. They don't know what it's like to grow up poor and to see the toll it takes on a family. They don't know the constant stress and worry that comes with not having enough money. They don't know the sacrifices that have to be made just to get by.